Hello there, it's Iain from RTO and welcome to a classic album show. And today we have got a classic. And today we've not got little pictures in the corner behind me, because the album we're going to look at today is the classic, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, often shortened to just Ziggy Stardust, by Mr. David Bowie, and here it is. This is an original version. I've had it a very long time. Doesn't come out very often, but it's come out today because it's a very special album. Released in June 1972, and it of course features David Bowie and the backing band, the Spiders of Mars, the fantastic Mick Ronson, Mr. Trevor Bolder, fantastic bass player who went on to work with Uriah Heep, and on the drums Mr. Mick Woodmacy. Great album. Came out, it was recorded at the same time as Hunky Dory, and this is just fantastic. Before we look at the tracks, we'll have a look at the cover. There we are. Mr. Bowie, Mr. Boulder, Mr. Wumsey and Mr. Ronson. One thing I found when I was doing this, I'll read what it says right at the bottom. You can tell how old this is. It says stereo recordings give full stereo reproduction when played on a stereo record player. They can be played on most modern mono record players fitted with lightweight tone arm and pickup head, and the sound reproduction will be monaural. If you have doubts and wish to avoid damaging your equipment or records, consult your dealer. You don't get that on CDs now. And it's on the famous, let's be careful, RCA orange label. Get all the lyrics. Great album. Let's pop it back in, don't want to spoil it. I love the back cover as well. Really good album this is. Let's put it back in, I don't want to spoil it. Just bear with me 20 seconds. Get in. That's it. Oh, you can smell it's old. Doesn't come out very often. This will now go back into storage. Right. Okay then, let's have a look at these fantastic tracks. Any album that opens up with a fantastic track, a classic called 5 Years. It's a terrific track. I just love everything about this track. Fantastic stuff. What else we got? Then we have Soul Love. I do like this track as well. It's the Trevor's Boulder's bass in this is just fantastic. Moonage Daydream, that guitar, acoustic guitar mixes well, and then little bits of heavy rock guitar. Brilliant track. Then we get the classic Starman. What a track! What a fantastic track. There's not much you can say about that track. I love it, always have. It's just brilliant. Then we get It Ain't Easy. This is a nice little track. Trevor's bass again dominates this song. It's a killer bass line. You got these heavy parts that come through the album. The song. Get so excited about this album. Great track. And then we flip it to side 2, and the opener is Lady Stardust. And another amazing song. I just love the David's vocal on this is just terrific. Then we get Star. Fantastic track. Absolutely belter. An whole album of great tracks. Hang On To Yourself, great rock and roll track this is. I just love it. It's a short song, but it's rock and roll. It's what I like about David Bowie. One minute you're getting rock and roll, next minute you're getting pop. Great, great artist, sadly missed of course. Hang On To Yourself then is one of his true greats. And then of course we get one and only Ziggy Stardust. That opening riff, everyone tries to copy it. Classic riff from Mr. Ronson. It's an iconic song. Then we come to my favourite track on the album. This is a great rocker. It's of course Suffragette City. Got fond memories of this. I was in a shop a few years ago, and it was on in the shop being played. It's a shoe shop, and the bit where it goes wham bam thank you man, and this little kid turned around to his mum and says, "Mummy, what does wham bam thank you man mean?" Yeah, and I just looked at the lady and smiled and I says, "You've got some explaining." Fantastic track. I love that track. And then it ends up with another great track, Rock and Roll Suicide. What a track. What an album. One of the greatest albums ever made, in my eyes. It doesn't date. It's as good as you put this on today, and it's as good as when you put it on in 1972. Although I didn't put it on in 1972 because I was 5. I brought this. Well, I brought it, but I was at a record fair, and I brought this because I've never ever played this version at all. So I've brought this round about 1982, so it's been out a little while. I've got it on CD now, but it's a fantastic album, and I will give it the RTOs. It's a 10 from me all day. You can't rank it any lower. It's 10 out of 10. One of the great rock albums ever. Going through this, I was talking to a friend of mine who's a bit of a Bowie fan as well, and he says, I think you need to do a full ranking of David Bowie's albums. So I will. I've got 20 odd albums, 25 more albums to listen to. I've listened to quite a few of them, I know them, it's just some of them. So we will be doing, I would say it's going to be September time, but we are going to do a full album ranking of Mr. David Bowie. Okay, that's all for today, I'm afraid. What have we got for you tomorrow? I'll just have a quick look. Oh yes, we've got a viewer's request tomorrow. 2 people have asked for The Clash, and yes, you are getting The Clash tomorrow. Then retro ranking tomorrow. We're going right back to the heyday of rock and roll, and we're going to be looking at my favourite songs by Eddie Cochran. So that's going to be another awesome day on the channel. What are you going to do for the rest of the day on this Monday? Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care for now.